Good luck, Jerry.
Good luck, yeah.
Good luck, Jerry Jeudy. Because these Utah folks were saying, good luck, Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah. That was nice.
A couple of them said that's not what they were saying. They were saying something else that sounded like that.
What?
But that is the topic of conversation, I guess, for them.
Jerry Jeudy is officially in the hot seat, and I mean it is scorching after his absolutely controversial behavior towards Shedeur Sanders in that last game. The fallout from that single moment has been nothing short of massive, and it's become crystal clear that the public sentiment is turning hard against him. Fans are not holding back their feelings one bit. Just get this, at the Pat McAfee show, which was held live in front of a huge audience, the chants were overwhelmingly, deafeningly against Jeudy. When Pat McAfee himself tried to step in and defend him, claiming the chants were actually in Jeudy's favor, he was immediately met with a wave of loud, unmistakable boos from the crowd. The situation just kept getting worse when team captain Myles Garrett decided to speak out, adding a whole lot of fuel to an already raging fire. Now the public's outrage has hit an all-time high, and the demand from the fan base is simple and direct. They want Jerry Jeudy out. This has gone way beyond a simple controversy. It's a full-blown crisis, with the public's opinion of him completely spiraling out of control. Fans are absolutely furious, and that anger is only amplified by the fact that Shedeur Sanders has also expressed his own immense frustration over not just Jerry Jeudy, but the team's dismal overall performance. Despite Shedeur putting in maximum effort, the chances he created just weren't capitalized on, ultimately resulting in a truly disheartening 8. In a heated response after the game, Shedeur didn't pull any punches, pointing fingers directly at the offensive players, with Jeudy being a key target for their lackluster and, frankly, unacceptable performance. He made it perfectly clear that everyone on that side of the ball needs to take responsibility because the offensive squad completely failed to execute their jobs. Shedeur called the loss unfair, a gut punch, and insisted that this kind of failure cannot and will not become a trend. He's holding the entire team accountable, sending a powerful message that this level of play will simply not be tolerated.
Like, as players and as teammates, we have to be able to gel with each other and be comfortable with each other in every situation. That takes time. That takes a lot of things. So, this team is not going to be a microwave thing,
So, after Jerry Jeudy decided to lash out at Shedeur, Sanders came right back by pointing out a massive, glaring issue within the team. Their confidence was seriously, critically lacking. This was made even worse, he explained, by players like Jeudy, who were busy shifting blame onto others instead of looking in the mirror. Think about it from his perspective. The offensive plays they were trying to run were just too weak, too predictable, and too poorly executed to make any kind of real impact on the game. The entire team appeared disjointed, like 11 guys playing 11 different games instead of one cohesive unit. And here's what's so frustrating. Despite knowing how important it was to step up and make plays, they just couldn't deliver when it mattered the most. Shedeur really hammered home the point that unity is absolutely crucial, especially in tough times like these, but unfortunately that unity was completely absent in this game. As a direct result of that breakdown, the team came up short, and it wasn't even close. His words were a raw and honest reflection of his deep frustration with teammates who failed to rise to the occasion when the pressure was on and the game was on the line.
So it's about being more confident, whenever we are getting slow. It's about rallying the guys, and I didn't do a great job of that today. Rallying everybody together whenever things aren't going our way,
And here's the thing. Even though Jerry Jeudy was desperately trying to place the blame on Shedeur Sanders, it was painfully obvious to anyone watching that Shedeur played an exceptionally good game as the quarterback against a tough 49ers team, making some truly impressive and difficult plays. The real problem? Unfortunately, his teammates completely failed to support him when he needed them most. On top of that, there were also several moments where some questionable coaching decisions seemed to play a major role in the team's offensive struggles, compounding the problem even further.
Kevin, did you think that Shedeur built on his first start last week against the Raiders?
Yeah, I'd have to look at it, Mary Kay. Obviously, he's battling like all of our guys are battling. I know there's plays he wants back, but we'll look at it. We'll correct it.
Will you start him next week?
Yes.
Let me give you a key example of this that had fans and analysts shaking their heads. Picture this. The team is in the red zone, a prime scoring opportunity. In this critical moment, Coach Stefanski made a baffling move by pulling Shedeur, who was in a rhythm, and handing the ball to running back Judkins, who had been completely ineffective against the 49ers' powerful defense all day long. I mean, it was obvious to everyone that Judkins just couldn't handle their intense physicality. He was getting shut down at every turn. And yet, for some reason, Stefanski stubbornly stuck with him, instead of letting Shedeur continue to drive the offense. A head-scratching decision that, unsurprisingly, ultimately backfired and killed the drive. Let me be perfectly clear about this. Shedeur Sanders delivered what can only be described as a standout performance as quarterback, making several key, high-level plays that should have changed the game. But the cold, hard fact is that his teammates failed to back him up. And as we just discussed, there were also those critical times when coaching decisions seemed to actively contribute to the team's challenges instead of solving them. That pivotal moment came in the red zone, when Stefanski made the questionable decision to pull a hot shooter and give the ball to Judkins, who was visibly struggling against that brutal 49ers defense. It was so clear that Judkins wasn't able to match their physicality, yet Stefanski stuck with him instead of trusting Shedeur to continue leading the offense, a choice that ultimately proved to be a massive mistake. When you look at plays like that, you start to understand that Shedeur's frustration with Jeudy was completely and totally justified. Here he was, playing at an elite level, executing his role, but players like Jeudy were actively making it harder for him to fully showcase his incredible abilities even when he was executing his part of the play flawlessly. A perfect, almost painful example of this happened on the Browns' very first opening play. Shedeur read the defense, noticed the pocket opening up perfectly in front of Jeudy, and delivered a beautifully timed pass right into the available space. But instead of running into that wide-open area to make the easy catch, Jeudy hesitated. He slowed down, and that split-second decision led to what should have been a perfect completion falling incomplete on the ground. And you know, while Jeudy's little outburst towards Shedeur may have grabbed all the headlines, it doesn't change the fundamental fact that Jeudy's own lack of performance has been a recurring, frustrating issue for the Browns all season long. This isn't a new problem. In the previous game, for instance, Shedeur showed that same incredible calm and pinpoint precision he displayed here, but once again, Jeudy failed to deliver by not securing what should have been an easy touchdown. Rolling out to his right, Shedeur masterfully drew in the defenders towards him and spotted Jeudy wide open down the field. He then uncorked a perfect deep pass, setting Jeudy up for a clear walk-in scoring opportunity. However, a brief, critical lapse in concentration led to Jeudy fumbling the ball, squandering a chance that could have changed the entire game. And I really want to emphasize this point. The throw itself was absolutely flawless. A perfect pass that highlighted Shedeur's remarkable ability to execute under intense pressure. But all that skill and effort was wasted because Jeudy just couldn't capitalize on it. And even with the constant, suffocating pressure from that terrifying 49ers defense, Shedeur just kept making these incredibly difficult throws with pinpoint accuracy all game long. At one point, he was completely exposed in the pocket, with absolutely no offensive lineman offering any protection, leaving him totally vulnerable to a huge hit. Despite that immense danger, Shedeur still managed to make perfect throws, demonstrating his incredible resilience and skill, even when facing a defense as formidable and punishing as the So, when we dive deeper into what happened, one thing becomes incredibly clear. Although Jerry Jeudy tried his best to create a scene and shift the narrative onto Shedeur Sanders, it absolutely did not go the way he expected it to. In fact, Jeudy couldn't overshadow Shedeur's performance. If anything, he only highlighted it. Coach Stefanski, recognizing Sanders' undeniable talent and fierce determination, made it perfectly clear that he was fully backing Shedeur moving forward. He didn't just say it behind closed doors. He publicly confirmed that Sanders would be the starting quarterback for the next game, explicitly acknowledging his incredible efforts. Despite the Browns' tough loss, Sanders' ability to perform at a high level under extreme pressure really stood out, and Stefanski made sure he got the public credit he absolutely deserved. In the end, Shedeur's performance was the undeniable highlight of the game, and his coach made it clear to the entire organization that he would continue as the starter. The tide has clearly and decisively turned, and now the fans are rallying behind Shedeur Sanders in the wake of this whole controversy surrounding Jeudy. What started as what seemed like an internal conflict right there on the field has rapidly exploded into a very public spectacle, with Shedeur's supporters becoming extremely vocal about his professional handling of the entire situation. While Jeudy desperately attempted to deflect attention from his own poor play by making a scene against Sanders, it's become more and more evident that his actions are now completely backfiring on him. Supporters of Sanders have taken to social media and public forums, calling Jeudy out for his shocking lack of accountability and his frustrating inability to support his quarterback during the most crucial moments of the game. Shedeur, on the other hand, has seen his support base grow into a massive following. His composure, his obvious skill, and his leadership under pressure have earned him the deep respect of fans, who are now making it abundantly clear that they stand firmly behind him. Because here's the bottom line. Jeudy is now being exposed for his inconsistency and his blatant lack of professionalism. His failure to capitalize on key opportunities, his completely misplaced frustration towards Sanders, and his inability to rise to the occasion when it counted the most have led fans to seriously question his place on this theme. The support for Shedeur just continues to grow stronger every day, with many voicing their profound disappointment in Jeudy and demanding real accountability for his actions and his performance. As the public sentiment continues to shift so dramatically, it's obvious that Jeudy's actions are only damaging his own reputation, while Shedeur's star just continues to rise. The fans have spoken, and they're making it known that they believe in Shedeur, and frankly, are done supporting Jeudy until he proves himself on the field. So now I want to turn this over to you. What do you think about this whole situation between Shedeur Sanders and Jeudy? Do you believe Jeudy's outburst was justified in any way, or was he simply deflecting from his own underperformance? How much responsibility should a quarterback like Shedeur take for the team's overall success? And how much blame should fall on the offensive players around him? With this growing wave of support for Shedeur, do you think Jeudy can possibly turn things around, or is his reputation now too damaged to repair? Let us know all your thoughts down in the comments below.